Well, hi. Today is Monday, July 21st, 2025. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. I teased it for you last week. Today is the day. I had an opportunity towards the end of last week to spend some time at the Lake Manawa Sailing Association, and boy, this was just a ton of fun. Got to talk to Carol Horner. Of course, she's the local author of Spiral of Accountability, and she said, you know what? We should record on a sailboat. And I said, well, we can do that. So the way it ended up happening was we were still on land when we did the bulk of the interview. And as it turns out, you kind of have to pay attention when you're on a sailboat. So I took a little bit of video, but we weren't able to get any audio. So I'll bring that video to you and explain what it is you're looking at. All of that is coming up in just a little bit. So we want you to stay tuned for that. Also, here's a programming note that on our other show, Local Roots, is where you can find a very, very special interview with Joe Huntoon from S&B Country Kennel, south of Council Bluffs off Bungie Avenue. We had an opportunity to go down and meet some of his rescue dogs. And so we're going to introduce you to some of those dogs, tell you a little bit more about them and how you could adopt right from S&B Country Kennels. So we're going to meet Stella. We're going to meet Pappy. We're going to meet Lucky. Also Bridget and a great favorite, Legend. These are the dogs that you'll see during this interview. So again, that is on the Local Roots show that you can see right where you're watching this episode. If you happen to be watching it early Monday morning, then the episode comes out at 8 a.m. So just keep that in mind. But we have Carol Horner coming up in just a little bit from the Lake Manawa Sailing Association. If you have a leak, a clogged drain, or planning a big remodel, Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs has you covered. Fast, reliable service, expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installations. That can be said also about AirServe Heating and Air Conditioning of Council Bluffs. The Waldstein family, Travis, Hayden, and their entire crew are the ones that I always say when integrity matters and when doesn't it, these are the guys you want to get a hold of. WaldsteinPlumbing.com, AirServeCouncilBluffs.com. Those are the websites. Do you or does someone you love need in-home care? Home Care Advocacy Network can help you maintain your own privacy in your own space while still receiving care and support with a personalized touch. Aging in place can be critical for many people. Home Care Advocacy Network can meet those needs with an understanding that assisted living is best at home. HCAN of Southwest Iowa brings the personal touch to care. Visit hcan.com/Southwest Iowa to learn more. We are out here at the edge of Lake Manawa, inside the area that is more commonly known as the Lake Manawa Sailing Association, with Carol Horner, author of the book Spiral of Accountability. Synchronicity is your company. You are, and it seems like every time that we're talking, we're outside somewhere. And how about this? We're by the water today.
And we've got wind.
And wind, that's, well...
So we're going to go sailing,
We're going sailing today. That's actually kind of cool. And you and I were talking a little bit about what this place is, and I'm kind of ashamed I didn't really understand what you have going on here. This is like way cool that you are now a part of.
Oh, yeah. And it started for me. A friend of mine who was a member was telling me that I could launch my kayak from here. And so I came in with him, and as a member and launched my kayak. And I thought, I need to be a member. And so I became a member right away. And I've been a member ever since. So we're going on probably 4 or 5 years now. This was a real saving grace. Actually, it is a little over 5 years because this was a real saving grace during COVID.
Oh, I can
place
imagine.
I could come and sit and be outside.
Yeah.
And the lake was pretty smooth. There wasn't a lot going on at the lake during COVID, and so come out and it was great to kayak, and ran into a whole bunch of other people that kayak, and so we do that on Monday nights, and became I had sailed when I lived in Texas a lot, actually, on catamarans and big sailboats and stuff. And I would do whatever the captain told me to do. But I had no idea why I was doing it. I was just, pull the sheet in. Okay, I'll pull the sheet in,
right.
And I didn't know why I was doing that. but I would do whatever I was told to do, and I loved it. I loved being on the water, and I didn't mind being, free labor. And so when I came here and they have lessons, and I'm like, I can I can start to understand why and learn to read the wind and learn to read the lake and it just became another one of those things. I'm an avid scuba diver.
Yes.
So I like being under the water. I don't have access to that around here because I'm not really. I don't do.
You're not diving in this lake.
No, 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 no. Although my cousin, when he was assistant fire chief, invited me to be on their dive team, and I said, I don't do like recovery.
Yeah, that
I
would
dive for my own pleasure, and that would not be pleasurable. But
No.
anyway, so I just got involved and got engaged, and it's an incredibly welcoming group, tons of fun, worth every penny of the membership. I mean, we have all kinds of parties and all kinds of events and all kinds of opportunities to get what we call time on the tiller, time sailing.
Yeah.
And I'm surrounded by amazingly wonderful people. Like Teresa here.
This is why don't you introduce Teresa?
Sure.
Because she's very integral, obviously, of what's going on out here. And Teresa, we're going to talk with you a little bit about this. So,
She's Queen Bee.
yeah,
So Teresa Silence is the president of the Lake Manawa Sailing Association, and my friend, and so we've done a lot of sailing together, especially of late.
Yes.
And so she kind of really kind of manages the chaos of us and leads us into doing some really amazing things. And she knows the history of this place but she's just a real asset to us here, and we're really glad that she chose to be president.
well,
So I'm going to let you talk.
Yeah, okay. Well, Teresa, thank you very much for coming on the show and talking with us about this. How far back does your background go with the Lake Manawa Sailing Association?
So I think like a lot of people, I had no idea this was here. No idea at all. And probably 2009, I went out to Johnson Lake to do some workout at Holdridge, and I went sailing. And this was my first time sailing, and I thought, this is the coolest thing ever, but I'm never going to be able to learn because there's no place to learn. And then a few years later, 2012, Metro Community College advertised a class that Lake Manawa was teaching out here, and I came out here and learned on a little sunfish in 2012, and then it just grew from there. And I think that's one of our huge assets for the club is the sailing school. So if you don't know how to sail and you've always wanted to learn, and a lot of people are watching YouTube videos where they see people sailing to the Bahamas, and I always tell people you can sail anywhere. It all starts on one little boat in one little lake, and you learn everything you need to go from there, whether it just be enjoying the sailing. Carol and I like to sail and be social, or if you want to go to the British Virgin Islands and charter a boat and be your own captain. All those things just come from that first step of learning to see if you like sailing. And if you do like sailing, that's where the club comes in, because if you join, you have access to boats. You don't have to buy a boat to
That's
get more
the
sailing.
cool thing that I learned today is that you have boats here
We do,
that
yeah.
members can use.
Exactly. There's a lot of perks to being a member, but and it's very low cost. And the reason is we're a not-for-profit. We're here to facilitate sailing and kayaking and those types of sports, getting people out, giving them opportunities to learn new activities like sailing or kayaking, and making it affordable. Come take a lesson, join the club, sail for a while, see if it's something you enjoy. And some people after a while go, yeah, it's just something I'll do occasionally. But other people, they get the bug and they race, or we have a women's sailing group that we get together and do things. And so they make sailing a bigger part of their life. And so it's a great opportunity.
And all ages, too. I mean, there's all ages here. We'll have kids out here. I think the youngest that we allow in class is 12. And then we have people out here that are well into their 80s sailing and teaching us new things. And it's just, and they have, racing clubs that come out here. They're going to race tonight. So we'll see some of that going on. And, it's just a great place. Not to mention, it's just a beautiful environment,
Definitely. I mean, this is it's a great facility that is here. That we're sitting next to pavilion. You've got charcoal grills over there. There's a number of boats that are here. I'm guessing it probably not very often that they're all being utilized
Oh
at
no,
the
yeah,
same time.
definitely not. Yeah, and we have we have a variety of types of boats too. Not, we have small dinghies, we have catamarans, we've got a day sailor. So there's lots of opportunities to grow the different types of boats. So you can try out different things. And I think one things, excuse me, that Carol mentioned, I think is really important, is this is very much a community. The people here will talk to you about their boats or answer your questions. It's very welcoming, very inclusive. Everybody here who sails, when a new sailor comes in, they're just super excited, right? Because they have a passion for it,
Right.
and now they've got someone else who has that passion. And it's kind of like we say, you found your tribe,
Mm-hmm.
And so it is very welcoming. We have socials at least once a month. We have a social where you can meet other people. Lots of opportunities, lots of areas of interest. Like Carol said, we have racing. So there's 3 different types of racing we do here. We have the Windward Women Sailing Group, so you can come out, and that allows us to sail as women together and create some space for people to learn that maybe are newer to sailing, might be a little intimidated by it, so it makes it a little more comfortable. We also have the Monday night kayakers. They're just Omaha kayakers, but they come out every Monday and do a paddle. There's opportunities to volunteer for the sailing school. And that's the other thing, is it's a great thing. Carol, one of our primary volunteers, Carol's always there. But all the people in our sailing school, we teach 4 intro classes, that's 10 people each, so that's 40 people. We do a racing class, that's 10 people, and then a sail 2 class, that's another 10. All of those classes, the instructors, the volunteers, the sailing school director, shout out to Allie,
Yeah.
are all volunteers.
That's
It's
very
all volunteers. There's only one paid employee who's part-time in the entire club, and he just maintains the grounds. Everything else is the club members coming together, doing improvements, donating their time, and it's just such a great community to be in, where you have that sort of energy.
How big of a membership do you have?
We have, so the number of people who are individual memberships is around 200, but that includes the people in the household. So with the people in the household, it's probably over 450 individuals, because a membership covers everybody in your household. So you pay for one membership, but that covers everybody.
Are you like actively seeking new members? Is that a
always.
thing?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, part of it is, some people will come into town and they've sailed before and they Google and they find us and they come in. But I think we get really excited by the people that come in through the sailing school, because these are people that didn't know how to sail, came out, learned to sail, and they got a passion for it. And, we're just very excited about those members. They continually, as people come in, people leave and people come in, but it keeps reinvigorating the club with new energy. And I think that just makes it a really great place to be. It's not stale, it's not stagnant, it's always changing. We're always trying to improve, coming with new ideas. But again, all volunteers, so we're very realistic about what we need to achieve. Yeah.
Is there any qualifications needed to be a member?
No. No. Everybody's welcome.
You people are blowing my mind about this place.
I know. Everybody who comes here is like, how did I not know about this?
I know. It's you hear about best kept secrets and not intended to be kept and that kind of thing, but I have been first moved to Council Bluffs in 2000, and I've been out here and seen like a lot of sailboats on the water at certain times, but I didn't know about this, and I didn't know about the organization, and this is it's invigorating, to hear about this and to know that something like this exists right here. Mm-hmm. And we haven't even mentioned it yet, but you kind of touched on it, that membership is very affordable.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're not pricing yourself out of you don't have to be like a yacht owner.
No, exactly, and that's
out.
the goal,
Yeah.
right? Is to make it affordable, so that you can come out and learn. If you learn to sail, but once you've joined the club and you sail, you got access to several different boats. But we have a lot of other. We have a sailing library. You can check out books. We have a shop. So if you do have a boat here and you need to work on your boat, we have tools. We have spare parts. We have we do these parties. We do races. We do regattas, and even if you don't have a boat, you can crew for someone, and it is very much fun to go out and. I always tell people, experience different things. You might think, I don't like racing. Go out and try it.
Yeah.
And you'll be amazed. We always tell people, the way to improve your sailing skills is to race. Even if you don't want to be competitive, Get out there because you sail with a purpose and you improve your skills remarkably. We have one race league that does mentoring, so you have a very skilled sailor, racer, medium, and then new people coming in, and you go on the larger boats like a 22-foot boat, and they mentor you on racing and on sailing, so there's lots of opportunities to grow. And the best thing you can do, especially if you want to pursue sailing as part of your life, whether it be a lifestyle or racing or just relaxation, is to join a club and meet people. Yeah. You get more experiences, you get opportunities. I got an opportunity to go race in the British Virgin Islands on a 45-foot sailboat just because I knew people at this club.
Wow.
Right? An opportunity came up and I went down, and it was such a great, exciting opportunity. And so we're also working to create opportunities like that. We have members who've gone on to buy like 38, 40-foot boats, live on the coast, live different places, sailing around. And not everybody wants to do that, but if you do, you start here. If you're just looking for a hobby, you can come here, same thing.
How far back does the history of the association
Oh,
go?
so the snipe fleet, so there's a type of boat called a snipe, and the snipe fleet is 75 years old here. And it wasn't here at this location, it was over there at the country club. And about 37 years ago, they kicked them out, right? So what they did was they came over here, the core group came over, and they had to establish not a corporation, but an organization. So they created the Lake Manawa Sailing Association. And that is now 37 years old. And it's grown and changed over time as the needs have changed. So we still have a snipe fleet, but now we have larger sailboats, up to 22 feet, where you can anchor out on and sleep overnight, take people out. So we're getting more of those over time, and that's just how the needs of the people are. The club will adapt to it because as people come in, they make the club. And I think that's one of the key things is this is not just some organization and you're a member. You're part of this community and you can influence it. We've had members that Carol, she's like, we need to recycle. So Carol and Mary are now in charge of recycling. Members have stepped up and said, I think this would be great, and they just do it. And it just improves the whole place, and I think that's one of the things I really enjoy is, I love the sailing, obviously. I'm very passionate about sailing. But sailing in a community like this is just awesome.
For people that are close to me, and some folks that watch the show have heard me talk about it before too, that I pay attention to the energy of a place and what it feels like when I get there. And as soon as I drove on here, I got here before you, Carol.
Yeah, you did.
I noticed this place feels pretty good.
Yeah.
It just has a really nice vibe.
It does.
And just the way everything is set up, everything is organized. You can tell that people have a passion and they take pride in what's going on here. And that translates into the quality of what it is that they're getting out of coming to something like this. So I'm grateful that you asked me to come out. I had no idea. And we're actually going to attempt to shoot some video
On a sailboat.
on a sailboat. We're going to see how that works. I know my phone is waterproof, but it is not like going to give me an alert for wherever it happens to be at the bottom of the lake. So we're going to attempt to keep that from happening. But thank you so much.
It should be
for
pretty.
inviting me
I
out.
mean,
Yeah, the
winds
wind's
are
good.
very
Wind's good
manageable
tonight,
today.
so
and-
yeah.
Excellent. Well, let's go see what
We'll
we can
keep
do.
an even keel.
Okay, all right. Sounds good.
So, as I said, I wasn't able to get any audio when we were on the boat because, as it turns out, I really needed to be paying attention to what was going on. Everything, as you can see, they were taking the boat out onto the water and getting everything ready. There was a lot more involved with this than I realized. And this was really my first time ever on a sailboat. So I was learning so much about what was going on. And then when we got going, well, the water seemed fairly calm, but that was because we were close to the shore. And as it was explained to me, the trees make a bit of a wind shadow. So they block the wind a little bit. And then when we got out a little bit further, we were able to see just exactly what can happen. Take a look at this. this boat turned upside down, and everybody was fine. And also, what can happen is that when a sailboat goes under, and especially at Lake Manawa, because it's a shallow lake, the mast can go down into the mud, or as it was described to me, Manawa muck, which is down at the bottom of the lake. And then it's stuck. So you can't flip it back up again. So you have to get a motorboat to pull the sailboat out, bringing the mast with it, and then it can be turned up. And they were able to do that. As I said, I learned so much about how sailing into the wind, sailing with the wind, everything about that. Lake Manawa Sailing Association. This is a great, great organization that, I mean, if you love sailing, you know about it, but I think there's a lot of people in town that don't, and in the area that don't. So check them out and consider becoming a member. It's a really great organization, and I'm looking forward to being able to visit again. Service Master Restore by Schmader knows it can be hard to get back to normal when you've suffered serious property damage due to flooding, fire, or smoke. You may also be left with all sorts of questions about how to get your home or business back to normal. Service Master Restore by Schmader will restore your space by offering quality commercial and residential restoration services in Council Bluffs and the surrounding area. That's Service Master Restore by Schmader. And also, don't forget that we are going to be bringing you another restaurant review very, very soon. Bryce Taylor with GLI Insurance Group, locally owned and independent insurance group that's just up the road. His office is in Crescent, Iowa, right on the old Lincoln Highway. So get a hold of Bryce and get him to give you a quote. I think you might be pleasantly surprised about what he can do for you. And I know that as Bryce is the founder of the Council Bluffs Food Lovers page, it was just a great fit that the two of us would go out and have lunch, have breakfast, have dinner, and bring you restaurant reviews. And another one of those is coming up very, very soon. Thank you once again to the Lake Manawa Sailing Association, and also thank you to S&B Country Kennel, as you will be able to see that entire interview with all of the rescue dogs that we highlighted. Again, Estella, Pappy, Lucky, Bridget, and Legend. And I think you're going to fall in love with these dogs. I know that I sure did. So check out the show Local Roots to see that entire interview. My name's Todd Studer. Have a great Monday.